joint and shit.
We are live.
We're going live. We just went live.
Going live.
Fuck. Let me grab a fucking charger for my
What do you gotta grab?
charger for my phone.
Yo,
Man,
dick.
I don't even know what
Grab your
are
gun.
we talking about tonight.
We're talking about
scraps of
the
ISIS.
scraps of ISIS.
Scraps of ISIS?
Yep, and we're
Yeah,
the panel of retards.
This is what happens
gonna
when we let him choose a topic.
I
Okay.
We're gonna
don't
solve-
Told y'all
understand
about this.
what we're doing here. What's going on?
Basically, we're
Okay,
talking about how
that's fine.
ISIS
I'm
is
just gonna go along
defeated.
with that.
Hey, when you're on the
Just
panel
roll
of
with it.
fucking retards, you can jack off in a Hardee's whenever the fuck you want, man.
Yeah, call yourself Red.
Just
Yeah.
call me Red
I
and
told you
hand
I
me
got a
that
conflict
fucking
with some
lotion.
bitches.
Boy, Bella is still not even she's been a bad
I don't even know where the fuck she is.
spokesperson. Fucking lazy ass man.
She's dead. It's good.
You know, some of these all right. Are we waiting on Teddy? I heard a door open or
He's
close.
here. What are you?
I'm
Alright.
here, fucker. Look at your screen, you son of a bitch.
Right?
You-
Yeah.
Using eyes.
Oh, there's a delay. I'm watching the live. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Your mom's in the way.
Of ISIS.
Tonight on the Red Eye Report, we're gonna update you about them evil sumbitches we first told you about years ago. ISIS or Dash.
Oh, we broke the story of ISIS.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
Feel like
okay.
really early.
Yeah, that was when we
broke
won our
That-
Pulitzer.
Yeah, that's where they got the
Yep.
fucking.
That's what we're renowned for. We've been
Presidential
downhill
Medal
ever
of Freedom
since.
For that goddamn communist.
Yeah. Or Dash, as our Middle Easterner listeners would call them, or Cray-Cray, as former Al-Qaeda once called them.
Cray-Cray.
Yeah, remember Al-Qaeda was like, those fuckers are crazy.
I don't think they use the term cray-cray, but I get it.
Anyways, first off, we have Oracle.
Boom.
Is that a
Recently,
Clay Matthews jersey?
It is.
You're gay.
You know the draft is here this week.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Go
While we're
volunteer.
introing,
No, I'm not
recently
gonna
his
volunteer.
office building has been overtaken by black mold. It may soon be condemned. But what the rest of the staff doesn't know is his lazy ass has been tossing dirty yogurt cups and chewing tobacco into the air return vent for the last 3 years. His festering
Gross.
fungal spores have touched them all with a subtle hint of Kodiak-flavored Yoplait.
You guys, you ever dip?
Like I
I
just
see.
Kodiak. Yeah.
here or there, but like I could
Man,
never.
that's some nasty
get
ass
it.
shit.
It
I
is.
did that.
I
Yeah,
did-
used to
I
do
did
it. I
once.
used to think I was badass.
Oh, that's so fucking gross.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
once, and I accidentally swallowed the spit, and I got real sick and
no,
everything.
dude.
Yeah.
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 So
no, I think it's
anyway-
like, I'm constantly having this fucking
Black,
spit.
Black Mold sounds like a fucking antagonist in some cheesy CW like superhero show.
Mm-hmm.
Black mold.
We need to get downtown. Black Mold
Right.
is causing it.
It's just some guy who's kind of fuzzy all over.
I'm your man, bro.
Well,
Hurry up,
while,
Ashtray.
While Oracle was contaminating the office, the rest of us were busy releasing our sex tapes. First, we had Mystic. He recently tried to become famous by posting his sex tape called I Came As Fast As I Could, which really was just 15 seconds of mayonnaise dripping from a sandwich onto his crotch.
What
Yeah.
the
I always come as fast as I can. That's the point, isn't it?
And
So we want to win the race.
exactly, right? Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Always lets the lady
Oh,
come
first one done.
There. And next we have Teddy. His sex tape was titled Black Cock and the White Lagoon. He was surprised to find out that filling your neighbor's swimming pool with whole milk and doing the dead man's float while fully erect is against his and a violation of his probation.
Dead man. I liked Ass Avengers, Virginity Wars.
Yeah, that was. I thought it was actually better. You should use that one, man.
Yeah. I don't know. This was just a funnier image of you floating in your neighbor's pool full of milk.
Fully erect.
That was your-
Yeah, what
a
your
great
image.
image.
Fully
So
erect,
cool.
Eddie.
And your mediocre host Ashtray, whose sex tape was the Whiskey Dick Whisperer. Come on, buddy.
All right, that's
Wake
a good
up.
one.
Come on.
No, it's not.
Big game, and the pussy field's right there.
can only fist her for so long before she taps out.
All right, this is getting
Told you not to
graphic.
have that last whiskey, you dumb cock.
This is definitely based off of fucking actual experience.
This is way too specific.
Oh yeah,
In the bathroom, you said,
right. What
"Fuck,
you
come on,
know, and this is the Red Eye Report.
I think Ashtray. I think your sex tape would be a snuff tape talking about one another one got out of the closet.
No, it wouldn't be anywhere near as thrilling. It would just be a big disappointment.
Well,
all
you
right.
already touched a fucking nerve, Ashtray. Alex says ISIS isn't dead. They're in other countries.
Oh yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. Basically, with the scraps of ISIS, what got me in the idea is this report from NPR, and it's like they have the audio of this reporter who was in these detention camps, and these kids, like the stuff they're saying, it's like they grew up. They're like 10 years old. They grew up under ISIS and that kind of extremism, or like the last 5 years when they're in their development phase. And so what we're not thinking about is, even though Trump has recently said, "Oh, we've defeated ISIS," despite basically everyone on the ground saying, "Well, we just snuffed them out of their last city," but we have
every report to the contrary.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was this Saturday, though, 420, the SDF, the Syrian Democratic Forces, which is the Kurdish-led group that the U.S. supports, they declared a total elimination of the so-called caliphate. It's complete territorial defeat. But now what we have is just hundreds of thousands of women, mostly women and children, and some men who are in these detention camps. And the one that this reporter went to is called the Al-Hol camp in Syria. It holds over 72,000 women and children.
Damn.
And yeah, that's a fucking city. And it's it was, I think, originally made for 30,000, or what they thought, but what the forces have done is pushed these cities to the breaking point to where they have to flee, and they've all scurried away. And there was this secret deal that if there's this YouTube link here in the outline, Oracle, if you click on, you'll show they had a total media blackout, but they struck some deal with ISIS leaders to basically, they were going to contract buses and trucks to come in and take them out of the city, towards the remaining territory they had, like Raqqa. This was a year ago, when that city was finally considered flushed out, but it's just completely fucked now. They did a total media blackout, wouldn't let anyone report on it, but some videos have come out showing, basically it was a convoy, and what they've interviewed, it was it took 4 hours long to get past bumper to bumper. It was just thousands, tens of thousands of women and children and ISIS fighters. And in this secret deal, they were told, we can't make this look like we're letting ISIS escape, so you're not allowed to use any ISIS flags, any banners. But they in this video here, you see they totally still sat up there on the top of the trucks with suicide belts on and bombs. Now think about it, these truck drivers, these were regular Syrian, Iraqi truck drivers who were contracted by the SDF, and they were told you're gonna move maybe 1,000 or so people out of this city, and no one's gonna bomb you. And here they come to find out you're moving all of ISIS out of town.
Fuck.
Wow.
Yes, it was a 72-hour drive, bumper to bumper traffic, and the U.S. Air Forces, they flew back and forth. They basically flew over it, but they didn't touch them. And
They were escorting.
these these Iraqi drivers that were contracted were like scared shitless because basically ISIS just started loading all their weapons up. Even one of their semis broke down because they had too many weapons on. It was too fucking heavy. Yeah,
This is like that conversation in Clerks where they talk about the subcontractors on the Death Star.
Yeah.
A project that big would have so many subcontractors that all those innocent people died when the Death Star blew up.
So, who made that deal?
Well, this deal was made basically with the It was a secret deal, but it was made with the SDF, the Syrian Defense. Basically, that's the army that we're supporting. That's doing all the hard work. It was made with them, between them and ISIS, and us as Americans, like we basically green lighted it. There was a media blackout. It's only the BBC actually followed kind of on the trail, and they found these truck drivers to interview them. And they're like, we were terrified because they had suicide vests on, like right, like riding right behind me. And basically the threat was like, if they were fired upon, they were just going to blow the trucks up and kill all these women and children. And I mean, I guess the secret deal was because they must just have known that there's literally that many people. If you think about the camp alone, 72,000 people, and that's mostly just women and children. The actual men are kept in separate camps. But like that many people, they're like, well, we can't just fucking massacre them.
And plus
50
there's
years ago, they would've.
if it's you said the BBC was following them, right? I wonder what would have happened if the BBC wasn't there.
Yeah.
Well, right. Well, and the fact too, that like I think what this was like, the only way to get them out of this city was to strike this deal because they were still trying to limit civilian casualties. Like they weren't carpet bombing like we did in World War II, But anyways, that deal though, like that's one of those deals that's led to is kind of how ISIS has moved out and they've taken these cities back. But now we've got these concentration camps. Well, they're not concentration camps. They're refugee camps. That's what we call them when we don't kill you. We just let you starve to death and hopefully don't get killed by someone else. So like they're basically, there are reports of them being mistreated, raped, neglected. They're severely underfed because there's a great lack of funding to keep food supplies. You have some of the camps are where they've separated the European and North American, like the crazy people who saw ISIS on the internet and decided to sneak in.
Yeah.
There's that recent story of that woman who's like, please take, I think she's from Kentucky or something. Woman. Oh yeah, then there was that Appleton woman, but she's a local one.
Bitches with fucking.
But these are people who actually went all the way and moved out there. They got their ass to Turkey and then smuggled themselves into Syria.
Someone should make a sitcom.
It's dedication,
about a lonely teenager who wants to join ISIS and moves to Iraq.
No fucking sympathy for these people. Absolutely none.
Well, especially the ones who are like these people who traveled because they're just so fucking dumb. Yeah, fuck them. But because they are
fuck them. Seriously.
They're from Western civilizations. They actually, their camps, they are separated, and they actually are getting lectures from, basically people saying, like, ISIS sucks. Like, what were you thinking? They're trying to basically de-radicalize them. And then they have, like, the Yazidi minority, because there's the Shiites and the Sunni and the Shiites. And then there's the Yazidi, who are like an even smaller minority, and ISIS like just killed them because they just thought they were complete infidels.
Yeah, Mount Sinjar.
So they bring them in. It's like sitting in a class, in a detention camp, and it's like, all right, we're bringing these people in to speak and to try to like show them the other side of like what happened and what ISIS did to their people. The people who are controlling these camps, they're like, what, do you think that's going to do anything? Like they get a couple speeches from these people, but that's not going to, like, they've been radicalized, and some of these people grew up, these kids anyways, for sure.
Yeah.
Grew up in this, and they're not going to believe someone that comes in and like tries to tell them that like their whole,
especially when their fathers and their brothers and their cousins and uncles have all been killed by fucking the American infidels.
By the American dropping bombs from the sky. And
glass parking lot, man. That's the only way. That's how we remedy it.
Well, that's the thing is so right now we're in this predicament where we've got literally like if you probably combined all these camps, well over 100,000 women and children and fighters who no one wants, or like we don't know what to do with them, because most of them, for the majority, are Syrian or Iraqi, and they're the ones who you could say, like Oracle said, fuck the ones who traveled to get there, like who decided to put down their iPhone and go like
right, yeah.
I mean, you could decide to put down your iPhone and go fucking shoot up a theater or something, and that's a decision that you make. Going and joining fucking ISIS, in my opinion, is fucking
equally as stupid.
Right, equally as stupid.
Right. Nonetheless, though, in contrast to the majority of these people in the camps who are Syrian and Iraqi, that they were either taken as sex slaves, like the Yazidi. Most of the Yazidi women were taken as sex slaves. The men were killed. And so they've like some of them are also young enough where it's just like, boom, this is like the new reality, and you're preached about like, this is how you live. And these people, like these women and children, they're just, especially the ones where it's just Syrian and Iraqi, they're just hanging out, like trying to not die in these camps. There's actually no funding to do de-radicalization programs. All the people, the big shots who are, in politics.
I mean, how would you do a
de-radicalization?
How would you do a de-radicalization program? I mean,
especially with that many people, how?
Right?
Especially when they don't even have the money to do it.
Which it's hard to get somebody to let go of an idea.
Yeah,
especially if it's not their own.
Especially if they were like 5-6 years old and they lived there, and now they're like 12, 13.
They're a product of that environment. I mean, that idea has been drilled into them. It's like any other religion you get around the world.
Another thing, though, too, if you put people in a desperate situation, they're gonna fucking do anything that they have to, and they've been radicalized. That sounds to me like you're fucking breeding super ISIS.
Well, right,
yeah. They've been radicalized
sitting there, festering.
Think that it was our fault completely.
That's all they know. They don't even know what peace is. Like, they don't even know what it is to go to
the Metal Gear Solid, like the fucking,
and yell at your mom for not getting Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, black people. Black people don't do that.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. Fucking A, Mom. Told you not peanut butter cups.
See, I can't relate to this. I'm black. We get slapped and shit like.
I know.
I don't relate to this.
Maybe that's what they need to do,
right?
Teddy. They need to send over a bunch of black fucking mothers, mean mothers, to beat those asses. Fucking straight those motherfuckers out.
A couple million eggs and some flour to make biscuits and shit. Get them
de-radicalization program.
Yeah, just a bunch of black women coming in. Sit up straight, mother. What the
fuck? All right. So these kids, anyways, in these tents, this report I was listening to today, they were basically like, in the recording here, and they were saying convert, and they were like urging the reporter to say the Shahada, which is the Muslim profession of faith, which is there is no God but God, and Muhammad is his messenger. And they said, if you become Muslim and cover up like us, you'll become a member of our religion, and you would not be killed. And
fucking retards.
Yeah,
well, that's a choice right there, I guess.
They were basically saying, like you're a. Technically, you're.
But it sounds like every other. It does. These people below each other. But that sounds like every other religion. You know what I'm saying? If you trust Jesus, you won't save you, you won't burn in hell forever.
I don't know, man.
I'm being honest. I'm not trying to come to ISIS. I'm not trying to come to ISIS's defense. But I mean, fucking Southern Baptists bombed fucking abortion out of the South. It's
true,
not,
true, but not all religions.
Most of them.
You don't see Hindus doing that.
And look at the Shakers.
No, Hindus don't do it.
They did nothing but be celibate and work hard.
You guys, Eddie Izzard, you know who Eddie Izzard is, or Eddie Izzard, however you say. Have you ever seen his bit on British fucking, like, he was talking about the Spanish Inquisition and like torture, and he's like, what if it was the British doing it? And like he's like, okay, here we go, cake or death. I think I'll take some cake. Oh damn, okay. Next one, cake or death. Like they get like 4 into it, and he's like, fine, fuck it, we're out of cake. Like, what kind of choice is that? You know,
tea and cake or death.
So I either become a Muslim or I die.
So what kind of choice, like, are there any ideas of what to do with these fucking rabid ass
No, not
people?
really. I mean, part of it is that, okay, so the majority are Syrian and Iraqis. But Syria and Iraq are both still pretty fucked up, especially Syria.
Oh, yeah. Syria.
Yeah, and so, like, even though they do want to
Iraqi's not much better.
Assimilate them, they're like, they don't have the ability or anywhere to put them anyways.
And it's also, unless you can get rid of that radical idea, it's also, I think it's too dangerous to do that.
I think,
well, right,
dangerous.
and that's why.
Because the minute they get out, they're like, y'all kept me in this camp for fucking all this time because of what I believe in, what I believe is right. Yeah, I think it makes it worse. So
when you can't keep track of them,
that's the making of a Michael Bay movie right there.
I think if we just put up a bunch of Starbucks and condos, I think everything will just work itself out.
It's like that American Dad episode where they're gonna get stoned.
Well, like a lot of problems, it can be solved with piles and piles of money, so long as it's not, fucking corrupted and going to waste. But it's like they're severely, underfunded as far as not only there's no programs for radicalization, but they're having a hard time where it's like people are showing up to the queue for food and the food runs out. Like, oh, we got this much in for the day, but there's 72,000 people here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds like a lot of people.
Like, imagine how many semi-loads just to give rations out to that many people for one day.
Right.
And then how frequently or not these semi-loads of food come.
So who's running these camps?
What you think, man? Bullets would be way cheaper.
Well, right in Syria.
So I'm curious who's running these camps.
Right now it's being run by the SDF.
Okay.
Basically, it's the Syrian Defense or Democratic Forces that we are supporting. And one of the reasons why we've decided, even though Trump was like, we're leaving Syria, we're not leaving Syria because the SDF, who did all the hard work, is being targeted by Turkey. Turkey believes that they're just terrorists. But they did all the hard work for us, and by Mattis was like, I'm resigning. This is why Mattis resigned, because it's like, we can't just fucking bail on these people. Like, they all died for what we were working for, and they are an ally, and like, we're not just gonna leave and let Turkey kill them.
Mm-hmm.
I think at what point though do we just kind of like become a blackjack dealer, and when we're leaving we just kind of wash our hands? See?
Well, the thing is that idea of washing your hands leaves these messes where they then come back and bite us in the ass.
They'll work themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
They won't, because I don't think they will, because I mean like it's everything is built upon itself. That's how we got to ISIS right now.
I mean, what these people all think is that
yeah, I get that. I understand how we got here. But at what point does it not just continue to snowball and we get deeper and deeper in some shit? Pretty soon we're paying half of our the money that we fucking expend just to support people that we fucked over. Like, I get it.
Right.
But I mean, come on.
Well, first we gotta
Well,
stop
the
fucking
thing is,
people
we'll
over.
never be able to wash
Yeah,
our hands
I
of it. There's no way to just wash our hands of it. We've made this mess, and we got to sleep in it. Like, listen to this quote here. This is this girl who was like 11 or 12 years old who was talking to this reporter. And she's saying, on Judgment Day, God will pour molten metal in the ears of those who listen to music. And the ones who are not covered, now I ask God in the next life to light fires from hell with their hair. And it's like,
I mean,
Jesus.
it really makes it hard.
That sounds like a black metal verse right there.
yeah.
Yes, there we go. We could get them to write fucking lyrics for black metal bands.
Right? And then by the mediocre funding they'll make from that, they can buy some Triscuits.
What I'm saying though, Ashtray, is who's gonna stop us from just washing our hands of it?
Who's gonna stop us is the military seeing that we can't wash our hands of it. You can walk away from it, but it's gonna come back to bite us in the ass.
Yeah, there's gonna be fucking Osama bin Laden times
all our
fucking
allies, and it's gonna
100.
Disrupt the way of things and the flow of money and fucking resources. That's the rich people just want trade to flow as easily as possible, so they can just keep piling in their coffers. And like, if I'm saying, like, that's why Mattis resigned.
I say we just come, just
Mystics,
bring
I'm not
our
rich, who
boys
fucking
home.
cares?
Bring our boys home.
it would be nice if we could
Pro-Trump,
do like the
MAGA.
Men in Black, like wipe their memory and get rid of this, like the radicalization, like what ISIS is.
We just get a reset.
So,
Yeah.
is there any light at the end of this tunnel?
No, not so far that I've heard. And like it was just
because we're backing this shit out.
And the idea too, though, is like Trump, declaring like it's yeah.
Beep, beep, beep. Move it, bitch. You're gonna get hit. Beep.
That's a big beep. What is that? It's just the U.S.
United States.
I mean,
going home.
that's basically what Trump wanted to do, right?
Well, it is what he wanted to do. But by doing that, he then leads open the
I get it.
Turkey's going to get the SDF. It's just so interwoven. You can't just back the fuck
ego
out.
behind thinking that way. You know what I mean? Like this thing. Like that's exactly how he thinks. What I just said. Who's gonna stop us from leaving? What are you gonna do? Like it's that bravado that we're the fucking U.S.
And that's why he's a great president. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I also think that this is a big fucking problem.
It's a ticking time bomb.
Yes, it's only going to get worse.
15 years from now, that a girl who's 12 years old now, even 10 years from now, she'll be 22. Man, don't trust any woman who's 22,
insane.
especially if they know how to make a bomb.
She'll be dead. That or she's addicted to opium, get raped.
Well, let's hope she goes down that path. It doesn't harm our
Western
Western living.
living.
I want to still be able to go to the grocery store. And
Be
get Triscuits.
realistic. You know what I mean?
What is it with you and Triscuits, man? I mean, shit. Triscuits. I mean,
Maybe if
it's
you
like
had told us you had delicious Triscuit crackers, we could have enjoyed them with you, Ashtray.
I mean, really, bro, you stingy motherfucker.
One of the best lines of was that Billy Madison or
That was Billy Madison. Yes.
All right. Well, that concludes our update on ISIS, the scrap ISIS. Now we're gonna move on to the what's sexy. First up, we've got Oracle with altered carbon.
Titties.
Yes. Lots of
This is
titties.
how the Avengers got split up.
That's funny.
All right. So I recently started watching Altered Carbon on Netflix. It's a show that came out last year. And sci-fi, and it's kind of basically they figured out how to put somebody's consciousness on a disc that can be switched between bodies. If the disc is destroyed, then usually for most people that means that they're dead, unless if there's a backup. It's some really fucking trippy ass sci-fi stuff. Like this switching around the bodies and this whole bio fucking text
Weird.
like far future shit.
It looks very complicated and slimy.
It's extremely complicated. There are a lot of titties, some dick shots.
Well, I mean,
that complicates a lot of things for me.
Everything better, you know.
Yeah.
It's cool as fuck, though. It's got some cool action scenes, some really good characters, but it's just got some fucking like really mind-bending kind of stuff going on in terms of like all this futuristic, you know, switching around the bodies and being able to clone people and shit like that.
Tell me, what is the why and what's the benefit, or what are why
people can't die?
Flipping bodies. Oh,
you can't die.
You can live forever.
You can live forever, and so it doesn't. You're not locked down to like a gender. Like if somebody's dead, you could just pop them right into a completely different gender body and.
So who makes the new bodies?
So they can create them.
You sell yourself?
They could clone them. They call the bodies sleeves. So you could fucking repair the sleeves.
Oh, so
it's futuristic.
It's pretty fucking badass. Definitely recommend it. It's on Netflix if you're into sci-fi shit.
Season
really
2 is they're doing season 2 right now. It's coming out. Anthony Mackie's gonna play the new guy. He's the one that plays Falcon in the Avengers movies. The black guy.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the cool thing.
You know, that's a great way. You don't have to worry about casting.
Right, you don't have to worry about casting.
The same character is just in a different body.
It's kind of cool though, because it's like you still maintain your consciousness from the other bodies, so you have all of those memories. So they like flash back to almost like these previous lives, even though, you know, it's your life. And as long as when you died, they didn't destroy that disc thing in the base of your skull, then you're fine. They can pop you in somewhere else. It's really fucking trippy.
Yeah, I've only seen the first episode or two, I think. I really like the guy who plays him, though. The guy who played the new RoboCop.
Yeah.
He was in The Killing too, which is a really underrated series. I love that fucking series.
I like the Edgar Allan Poe Hotel.
Yeah, that's really cool.
This shit's awesome.
There's a really cool scene when he's first in this hotel and they tell him it's like an AI kind of brothel. So it's an AI that runs this hotel, and they're like, oh, they become obsessed with you or whatever, and like all these guys fucking jump him and they're gonna kill him. And he like consents to let the AI like take care of him, and then these fucking Gatling guns drop down. And he's like this. The Poe guy is like his right hand fucking man. After that, it's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Altered Carbon. Check it out.
Check it out.
Good news.
All right. Moving on to Teddy. One Punch Man Season 2.
One Punch. One Punch Man is it's an anime. It's based on kind of like almost futuristic to where all these monsters and stuff are attacking, and you have what's called like a hero organization, and the heroes are ranked from all the way, I guess, F all the way up to S class for heroes. And there's this one guy named Saitama. For some reason he's super powerful, and nobody he ever fights can withstand one punch. So like he punches and they explode. It's a pretty funny, wacky take on a superhero anime. And season 2's out. It's just pretty cool. I like this kind of stuff. I know y'all don't like anime, but if you do, check it out. The shiny ball head fucking everything up. It's pretty awesome.
Wasn't there the
nerd
one? Wasn't it the One Punch Challenge? When high schoolers are going around knocking out old people?
Yeah, I
just
remember
that random.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that fucking
couple years ago.
Yeah, that was
Oh, that's right. We did a show about that, didn't we? Knockout games?
Yeah, the knockout game.
Knockout games, yeah. That kid, he got arrested and shit. Didn't he really hurt that old guy?
They were knocking old people out?
On the
wow.
Cracked his skull on the curb, I think.
Yeah.
I thought they were fucking punching each other.
No.
No.
The thing is,
they
you
were
sneak
punching,
up on
they were,
someone.
No, they were punching each other also. You sneak up on somebody and like deck him and try to knock him out. I mean, they did it to old people too, but they were doing it to each other also.
Well, they're doing it to strangers.
Punch an old
Yo, strangers
person.
they were doing it to. Yeah.
I saw John Schaefer do that at a bar in Madison.
Just punched an
He's
old
like, you
person?
dare me to punch that guy in the face? I was like,
Just some random dude or something.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, all right. So he just went up and punched this dude in the face. He didn't knock him out, but he just cracked him in the face for no fucking reason.
What happened?
the
Nothing.
whole fucking.
The dude just
What?
left. Like he was just a big pussy, I guess. I don't know. It was funny.
Wait, the dude he
Like,
punched
wow.
just left, and like
Yeah,
nobody
just, like,
made a
fucking-
scene. Like, what the fuck just
No,
happened?
not at all.
Oh, no, I'm fucking,
A little
Not
fucking
fu-
shit bar in Madison. In
Tough
fucking,
crowd.
I'm fucking both of
Down
y'all up.
by the what the fuck was that?
Yeah, I'm
We used to
fucking
play
both y'all
fucking
up.
not shuffleboard. Is that shuffleboard?
Shuffle puck.
Shuffle puck, yeah, with the little the hand one.
Mm-hmm. The salt or the sand on the fucking. Don't touch the table. Boy,
Sand dollar? I think it was called the sand dollar.
the silver dollar and Madison.
Silver dollar. Yeah.
Yep, still there.
Yeah. John Schaefer
Still
punches
has the
it. Oh, fucking-
Yeah, it's one of the old one of the
God, you're an
long.
alcoholic, Ashtray.
yeah, he knows what shitty bar
Jesus
I fucking went
Christ.
to in like 90.
It is a legend in. It's like Woody
a
and Ann's
legend
too.
if
It's
you're
like they've been
drinking
there
is what the
forever,
fuck
and
it is.
they're known because they've got the long, real shuffle puck boards. You
Yeah,
don't find
yeah.
it much
It was
anymore.
There
fun.
aren't that many bars in Madison.
What do you mean there aren't that many bars in Madison? There's
What?
a shit ton of bars in Madison.
Not for
And
your
Ashtray knows
fucking
them all.
palate.
Not
You
for my
fucking-
palate.
You're fucking, of course you're gonna know all the bars.
Well, I've lived here too for over 10 years. 15 now.
Probably had that shit
Anyways.
scoped out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, right. Moving on to Mystic, who didn't type his sexy into
Oh,
the
no.
outline.
I didn't. You're right. And I completely forgot what it was. I just had it in my head. But the edible is fucking with me.
Goddamn edible. Let's hear it. Did it have something to do? Let's do like 20 questions.
all right. Is it something? It was a show.
Is it about an object?
It's just show. It was a movie.
was?
It's
Oh.
Black Klansman. That's it.
Ah, there we go.
Finally
Okay.
saw it yesterday, and I thought it was fucking great. I could see why it was nominated for so many Oscars. It was great performances all around, and I'm gonna be honest, it made me mad at the end, just to see like how far this world hasn't come in 50 fucking years, or however long it's been. This was in the 70s, 40 some years. You know, and they showed real life, current event shit, you know, with Trump fucking in his rhetoric and people getting run over by fucking Nazis and neo-Nazis. It's fucking frustrating, you know. Like these people that just preach hate and stupidity still have a fucking...
But the way
They've
they show how dumb
infiltrated the
Klan
fucking
was.
government. There's a fucking Nazi as
Has anyone watched the alt-right documentary that's on Netflix? I've just seen the thing for it, the cover, but
No, I haven't. But the way they portrayed how stupid the Klan that chapter of the Klan was in that fucking movie was pretty. I thought it was pretty funny.
And how easily they became
They became
what they are. You know what I mean? How they infiltrated politics. And the best scene I thought was that duality scene with where the both groups are watching The Birth of Man. That fucking blaxploitation thing from the 30s.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Birth of a Nation, was it?
Birth of a Nation, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And there's like this fucking
I haven't
black
seen that.
there's like this black power group who's like listening to this speech and watching that movie at the same time, and then there's the fucking Nazis that are watching that movie, and they're all it's just
Putin,
fucked up.
yeah.
It shows that one single message can mean two different things
Yeah.
to so many people. And that was the point I think he was trying to get across, and it wasn't that because the black people were doing the exact same thing. They were fighting for their rights, obviously, but they were also preaching that there shouldn't be inclusion, that we should be fucking separated. You know what I'm saying? But they wanted to be equal, which is fine, whatever. That's their view. They were doing it more non-violently too. You know what I'm saying? The Nazis were like, well, we just want us to be white. David Duke was like, well, they can have their. I just don't want to mingle with them or be, you know, interchange with them. Like he wanted a pure white world and they can have their own world type of thing, which is the same concept. It's just the Nazis are doing it for a completely different reason and in a violent manner. But
so yeah, it's contrasted the Black Power movement with the Klan.
Yeah. And this cop that
I guess I didn't realize that. I just thought it was about this black cop who infiltrated the Klan.
Well, yeah, he was the voice over the phone, and this white detective was the dude. You know, he took his name and infiltrated the Klan.
And it's based on real events. I mean, the guy has he still has his Klan membership card. So
the Colorado Springs Police Department in the 70s.
In the 70s, yeah.
Yeah, was it Jordan Peele who pushed this one to Spike Lee?
I saw his name on the credits.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah, he might have been a producer.
Because I think it might have been Jordan Peele who called Spike Lee and was like, he pitched him an idea like black police officer infiltrates white Klan. And Spike Lee was like, what are you talking about? Like, he's like, true story. Like, and then sent him the like rough outline or whatever.
Well, it was a book. The guy wrote a book, and that's what they based it on.
Yeah, okay. Sent him the book.
I could totally see it was a perfect movie for Spike Lee to direct, I think. And I think it was his best movie since Do the Right Thing.
I thought Inside Man was pretty good.
Yeah, it was alright.
There's a lot of his I have to catch up on.
It wasn't bad. That was that one with
Denzel Washington and Clive Owen, the bank robbery.
Clive Owens, that's right. Yeah, that one was alright. That was good.
That was a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. All right.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah,
moving on.
Right on, brother.
Me, Ashtray, short and sweet. Hometown Sweethearts had their reunion show. First time in 3 years. And this is the local cover band that basically I grew up on. Earned my chops, taught myself how to dance, cut a rug. And it was like it was kind of like a dance.
Well, I thought you were the dance machine already.
Oh, I became the dance machine because of them.
Wait, so
what if we watch this fucking video from 10 years ago and we see you becoming the dance machine?
Right?
There might be video of me on there.
I'll shoot myself in the dick.
They're called Hometown Heroes.
Hometown Sweethearts. They're a three-piece local cover band. When I was just out of college and like had my internship, and it was kind of my first like going out downtown, getting drunk, and it became a ritual. It was every Tuesday night. For years.
Actually,
you know,
now
like,
we see
had gotten into arguments with ex-girlfriends because they're like, "You're just going there to meet girls." I'm like, "I'm going to fucking dance." God, get off my nuts. This is my thing. Oh, seriously, that was an actual fight.
I don't want to meet
The
girls.
place was 2 blocks away. I just want to dance, jazz hands.
So, is that golden tea machine still down at the Crystal Corner?
Not anymore. No,
Oh.
that's so.
I'm just looking at this golden tea machine. I'm like, wondering if that motherfucker is still there.
But so
What kind of music do they play?
they cover everything from like
Jay-Z to Black Sabbath.
Ian Julio Down to the Schoolyard, R. Kelly's Ignition.
That's a bad choice.
They won't play that. Train in Vain by The Clash.
So they play anybody pretty much. They cover
Johnny
anybody.
Cash. Yeah, like they get paid, thousands of dollars to do weddings, and they actually have been they were in the Adam Sandler movie with Adam Sandberg, where he was like Adam Sandler was like his uncle or something. Do you remember that movie?
It was his
Oh,
dad.
Daddy,
Yeah,
Daddy-
His
that's my
dad,
boy.
that's right. That's my boy. Yeah. So
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
band that's in the like wedding chapel in the outdoor wedding scene. That's the Hometown Sweethearts.
Really?
Yeah. And then they had recently some Mark Wahlberg movie where like him and his wife adopt some kids or something.
Yeah.
They got one of their originals. They're mostly like a cover band, like that's what they always do. But they do have an album of original stuff, and one of the original songs is on the soundtrack for that. So like, they're all independently professional musicians in themselves, but this is like the three-piece they get when they get together. And make the money, you know, for weddings. Like that's where the fucking money.
So Travis wants to know if there were any headbutts this time. I don't know what that means.
So that's a funny story. It was at one of these Hometown Sweetheart shows where Travis
talked shit about the band.
Was
and
there visiting. No, there was some dumb broad was like,
wait,
I'm
you
gonna
headbutted
pass
a
out
bitch?
here on the floor. And it's kind of like in the thorough way around the pool tables to go to the dance area. And these people around are like they're just like, oh, get her out. And like, we're like, geez, you gotta get her out of the way. Like,
they're like, what again?
Around her.
What? How they do it again? Where they're like,
oh, jeez. Like, oh, what happened? You know, and she's still like on the ground. And
so people just stepped over this bitch to go dance.
Well, we had to walk all the way around the pool tables to be like, hey, your friend, you know, like if she fainted, you should take her outside, get her some fresh air, because it was packed. And me and my buddy go get her pitchers of beer, and then we go to walk around, and she's still on the fucking floor. Oh, and her friends are like, and as we're back, I'm like, yeah, you guys should really just take her outside, get her some fresh air, so we can walk there. As we're walking around the pool table, and this guy who was like, fucking his, I don't know, fucking some chud, who cuck. That's the word I'm looking for. He's like, don't you dare say that about her. And he came up and he like headbutted me. I had a pitcher of beer in one hand, a sack of glasses in the other. Like I couldn't do anything. I managed to pull back enough, but he like, I don't know if you remember, I showed you that picture where like I got a fat lip. He like headbutted my chin and like.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck was that about? And then like, he was like, oh,
that dude's getting a pitcher of beer dumped in his.
You fucking headbutt me. I didn't spill any of my beer.
No, fuck that. You should have poured the pitcher of beer on his head and then cracked him in the face with the fucking pitcher. Fuck that shit, man.
It was ridiculous, but nonetheless, there was no
headbutted him back and broke his fucking nose.
I mean, really something.
Oh, I had my buddy Josh, who's twice my size and could rip someone apart like a gorilla, right behind me too. Like it was like he like headbutted me and then like ran away, and it was just like the fuck.
Those are the best kind.
Like he realized that he like
his unconscious
was way out of line, and
everybody
then was like, dude, you don't need to escalate. It's like clearly he like took it way too far for like I said I was giving him some sass because their dumb fucking friend was still on the floor.
Some sass. That's great.
Comes over and headbutts me. Well, my hands are full. Come on. Please. All right. Anyways, moving on to fuck what you think. Mystic, Spielberg.
All right, so it's not necessarily Spielberg per se, but he's the one that started this. I don't know if you guys remember this around the time of the Oscars. He said that Netflix movies shouldn't be allowed to be nominated for Oscars, which they were up for some. Which I call complete bullshit, because he said the reason is that they don't show them in theaters, and Oscars should be for movies that are shown in theaters. And my problem is, what the fuck does that matter? You know what I mean? What does that matter if it's a fucking if it's shown in a theater?
No, I mean if the quality's there, the quality's there.
Exactly.
He's
the
also
delivery
someone
system
who
doesn't
can
change.
have anything in the theater because he's fucking Spielberg.
Well, and he can say that. He's allowed his opinion, but I disagree. I think that the delivery system doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't affect the quality or the message.
The thing is, if it's a good film, it should be picked up by studios
and
put it
in Netflix. It's not fucking Netflix's fault that they have a ready-made delivery system for 200 and some million fucking people or whatever the fuck their viewership is.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? The MGM can't compete with that because their shit goes into theaters. Sorry, you didn't fucking invent Netflix. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Release it simultaneously on Netflix.
Well, what Netflix is doing is going straight to the creative source, really. And you hear a lot of people.
They're investing their profits into making movies. They're putting just as much into fucking movies like Bird Box and that fucking The Irishman, but that movie with Al Pacino and fucking Robert De Niro. You know what I mean? Directed by fucking what's his face? Can't think of his fucking name. Scorsese. Like you don't think that movie cost fucking hundreds of millions of dollars to make?
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's
is that out?
the same.
That sounds cool.
Coming out on Netflix. Yeah, it's about the Irish mafia, basically.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're investing in TV shows. You know what I mean? Which are still up for Emmys.
I wonder
Doesn't make
how many
sense.
Spielberg movies. Well, he probably doesn't have control over all his movies, but as far as like what movies are on Netflix or not, yeah.
But it's the same concept as when Metallica.
He's just an old dinosaur.
When Metallica bitched and sued fucking Napster. Dude, these motherfuckers made $37 million the year they sued Napster.
Yeah, well, I mean, Napster's kind of a different thing, though, because people were downloading music fucking illegally. Netflix is not illegal. It's totally
legal.
Well, it is funded by subscription. But
somebody's got a subscription.
It's just an old guy saying that, oh, this is the way it's always been. This is the way it should be. You need to evolve, man. When the Oscars were made up and invented, there was no Netflix. You had to go to a theater to see a movie. You couldn't rent it afterwards. You couldn't it was in the theater or nothing. So times change, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this.
There were people nominated for Oscars that couldn't come to the Oscars.
I mean,
well, yeah, and that distribution, the studio companies who control the distribution and making those copies of those reels of film, and that was an investment. Like they basically were the gatekeepers of what movies got to go out and to multiple theaters or not. Not anymore. Oh, all right.
Suck it, Spielberg.
Moving on to me, Ashtray. Trump doesn't want to hear nothing about Russia. There was a report.
Nothing about Russia, huh?
Yeah, a recent report that basically official says it's like pulling teeth to try to get the White House to actually focus on what Russia is doing right now with the upcoming elections. And it's really because the senior White House staff is like, listen, Trump, he doesn't really want to hear anything about Russia because there's no collusion now. So if there's no collusion, he doesn't need to hear anything about Russia doing nothing. You can't collude if he doesn't know about it. So, yeah, that's going on right now. And so the people who are, Homeland Security, who are keeping their tabs on Russia, are trying to get the White House to take it seriously and make some decisions on what they're getting information back on. And the gatekeepers for Trump are like, no, don't talk about anything about Russia doing nothing. No collusion. So, fuck.
I see you put it in your pocket. I saw that.
Moving on. Oracle. Condemned building.
Yep. So
is it official?
I don't think it's been official, but this Monday I had to fucking move my classroom because the building that I was in was fucking basically shut down because of air quality issues. So,
damn.
Years of fucking neglect.
How big is the building?
It's a pretty decent sized building, and there's a fucking crazy basement that, fucking homeless people were living in, and like fucking lakes of sewage and probably radioactive materials and shit.
How did you not get murdered working at this place?
I don't know, man. But talk about a fucking major, inconvenience, and just they're like, okay, you got like 20 minutes. Grab what you can. Put these masks on. Fucking grab your shit. That's what my boss was like. Because she's like, yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting back in here anytime soon. So just grab whatever you can. So I'm just fucking grabbing everything I can.
That's ridiculous.
Right?
Like as if a dirty bomb just went off. Oh my God.
That's what it was like. Yeah. It was fucking like that. It was just such a fucking pain in the ass.
I'd have been like, hold the fuck up. Like,
where you touching stuff with forceps and shit, put it in a black trash bag.
Oh, yeah, you had to wipe that shit down.
I would have been like, bitch, I've been breathing this shit in for 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
For another half an hour ain't going to really affect me much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess it was pretty crazy, though. I was out that week because I was traveling for
You weren't even in there?
I wasn't in there when it got really bad, because what had happened is they had like this fucking terrible fucking smell emanating from the basement, and they had put some chemicals down to fucking...
Charlie dumped some chemicals down.
Charlie dumped some fucking chemicals,
full of lye,
and multiple people started throwing up in the building. Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
So...
Yeah, you're lucky.
I'm glad I missed out on that shit.
All your shit,
Jesus.
like your shit's kind of condemned. Do you have stuff there in the office?
I mean, I could only take so much stuff.
Oh, you were able to get some of your stuff.
I was able to get some stuff. Yeah, I'm fucking running classes out of a different, building, a different classroom now. But this shit had been, they had been saying like, hey, this building is fucked up. Like there are all these problems, and they just totally, oh well, we don't want to invest any money. Well, now that's biting them in the ass. So just a pain in the dick.
You don't believe in it, it isn't real, right?
Yeah, right. So,
yeah. Till it gets in your little lung
That's
sacs.
the title of a Trailer Park Boys episode.
That's all I got.
Moving down to Teddy banning a customer.
All right, so there's a guy. He comes in. I don't know how he does this, but he came in once when I was bartending. And he comes in. He's talking to me. He sits down, and after serving him 1 beer, I realized this guy's fucking wasted. All right, already. And I'm like, I just gave. He's got to be easily like 300 pounds. He's a big dude. So I'm like, off of 1 beer, he can't be this wasted. And we found out that he was going to other spots along. He lives up down the road. These apartments down the road. He comes down, and apparently he hits first watch first and drinks like mimosas and shit, and then he goes to other place and fucking and gets drunk. And so by the time he makes it down to our place, he's already wasted. So we made it a thing to stop serving this guy. And he got kicked out once by the owner. But he I had to go do something in storage, and I came back and he's at the bar, and this other bartender had never seen him before. And he was on his second beer. I'm like, the guy takes a beer and chucks him down. And then the bartender comes to me. He's like, is this guy already drunk? I'm like, yeah. He comes in drunk. We're not supposed to serve him and everything else. So I get the guy to leave and everything else. Like, we can't serve you anymore. So like, you have some water, something to eat. We try to give him food and everything else. He doesn't want it, so he leaves. Comes back like 2 hours later, wants another drink. We're like, no, you can't do that. But when he's in the restaurant,
are there no other bars around?
Oh, there's a lot of bars around, but he hits them all before
kicked out of
ours is. Yeah, ours is at the end of the street. So like by the time he gets to ours, he's already wasted. So but the other thing is when he comes in, he goes to every table. He tries to go to every table with a female and like sit down with him and talk to him. And
what the fuck?
And I'm like, bro, you're bothering guests. You can't be doing this
that.
I'm like, yeah, let me buy
put
you
a Me Too bumper sticker on his face.
And so like I get him to leave again. I'm like, man, you can't do this. Get him to leave again. And then I go to take a piss and I come back in. Actually, no, I went to go smoke a cigarette and I come back in. And this fucker's at the bar, but he's like on the side of the bar where we sit, and he's trying. And the other bartender's like, "Oh, looking terrified." He's this tiny little black guy, and he's like, the guy's trying to. He lost his phone somehow. I think he got punched in the face because this side of his eye was swollen or something. And he's trying to find his phone. He can't find his phone, so he's trying to call his wife to come and get him, but he can't remember the last 4 digits of the phone number.
Oh, man.
So I'm like shit, so we got to get this guy out of here. I'm like, I can't put him back in the street because it's kind of a busy street and shit, and I don't want him to get hit. So I ended up calling him an Uber, And so the Uber, we're next to a bank, so the Uber parks in the bank parking lot, and I rush over there to let him know, hey, this drunk guy, he said this is the address he gave me. I'm sorry, I got to do this to you and shit, but I got to put this guy in a car. And so the guy on the way to fucking get to the Uber car, the guy falls, and there's these. This is how big he is. Like,
this guy is a fucking wreck.
There are these posts in the ground because it says street. And just in case a car comes over, these posts are supposed to stop these cars. This guy fell and hit this post with his shoulder.
Oh.
And the post went like this, from this to like this. And now the post like wobbles around and shit. That's how big this guy is. All right?
Damn.
So, I mean, yeah, this guy was fucked up. Yeah, I mean, I knew when he woke up the next morning, I knew he was going to be like, what the fuck happened to me?
I don't drive.
But, we get him in the car and shit. And like the guy apparently gave me the right address because he got him home and shit. I tipped the Uber driver like $25. But it was fucking. I was like, I'm so sorry, dude. See, so like he's no longer available to come in the restaurant. But it was crazy that he there's another guy who comes in our bar and he runs a nail salon up the street, and he tells me that he sees that guy like fucking like the guy tries to come in his nail salon, talk to women and shit, and he's like, look, get out. But he's drunk and shit, and like it's
man.
Wow.
And keep in mind, we open
nail salon.
Yeah, we open at 11
right.
o'clock.
Some fucking giant. Fucking drunk dude coming into the
we open at 11 o'clock in the morning, and this happened on Monday. Yeah, this happened on Monday. All right, we open at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. This guy is fucking wasted, bro. I'm like, holy shit, it's crazy. But yeah,
he's beyond ashtray alcoholic.
Yeah, he's way beyond ashtray alcoholic.
Say he's an amateur.
Ashtray-aholic.
I know when I start to behave like that, I take myself home.
But I do have one more thing to say before Ashtray does the outro. Oracle. You got 1 week. We said we do it next week. We got one. Let's see how much you remember this week of the staircase of death that you had us do.
You want me to do it right now?
See, can you do it right now? Let's see. I'm gonna remember next week too, but I want to see if you can remember.
Okay. All right. Let me try it.
Okay. Come on.
All right.
Get serious.
Well, great. Let me get serious here because I gotta visualize what's going on here.
Top of the stairs.
Right, top of the stairs.
There
Top
you
of the
go.
stairs.
One was top of the stairs.
All right.
It was a sun.
All right. Here we
Stretch
go.
out that mic cord.
One was top of the stairs. It was
hydrogen.
Sun. Right.
Shh,
Two. Oh shit, my bad.
All right. Balloon, helium. Battery, lithium. Berry, beryllium. Little pig, boron. Car, carbon. Nitrogen. Oxygen tank, oxygen. Fluoride, fluorine, so like toothpaste.
Mm-hmm.
Down on the ground, smash it. Neon. Out the window, sodium, salt shaker. In the dark, magnesium. Turn around, look at the pot, aluminum. In the bush, smash silicone chips, silicon. And phosphorus. 15.
What was phosphorus?
Yeah.
Fozzie Bear.
Fozzie Bear.
He actually. Oh no, you missed one. You missed neon.
No, I got
he
neon.
said
Smash
neon.
the neon.
Did he?
Said neon.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got it. You got them all.
Boom,
I couldn't
bitches.
So when you take a test and shit, do you get up and have to visualize?
Yeah, right.
Like,
I start
like
fucking walking
the room?
around like it's a beautiful mind fucking shit.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, sit your crazy ass down with your pencil,
sit
bro.
down.
Way to go, buddy.
Wow. That's impressive.
That
Yeah.
is impressive,
Fucking-
man. Yeah.
I
way
knew
to
the
go.
first two, and that was it.
That was
Oh,
it,
no.
yeah. Way to go, man.
I couldn't remember
Thanks.
any of those things.
I
Only when you said them back, all I remember was there was a staircase.
I put up the periodic table to test the one to make sure you got them all right.
That's just like me remembering that there's a periodic table. Yeah, I know this one.
Right, exactly.
Don't ask me what's in it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, go fuck yourself, Lynchtown, Kentucky. This is the Red Eye Report. It's an actual town.
That's an actual
is it
fucking
really?
town. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Lynchtown, Kentucky.
There's also a Lynchburg,
It's time
Tennessee.
for a renaming.
Yeah, there's some
or a
Lynchburgs.
rebranding of sorts.
There's a Lynchburg, Tennessee too, bro.
Oh, it's right in the same county as Knob Lick.
Lynchburg isn't Lynchburg where fucking Jack Daniels is
Jack
made?
Daniels is made. Exactly, yeah.
Like us, share us, or fuck us. You can find us on the Facebook, on the we don't Twitter anymore.
Never did.
Or Instagram. Find us on Facebook. Share, like us, share us, like us, share us. Oh, fuck us. I didn't write any of this down. I am the ashtray.
I am Oracle.
We made it writing this down. I'm Teddy.
Mystic. Ah!
Mystic's last again. Ah!
I'm Mystic, and this is the Red Eye Report. Ah, I got it.
Oh, congratulations. You are important, and your self-worth holds meaning to everybody.
Ashtray pulled one out of his butt again.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough.
Later.
Doggone it.
God damn it.
Like-
People like me.